Hey guys, Shannon here at That Tile Chick. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a Tile Chick quick tip on how to template your shower pan. Hey guys, Shannon here. Today I'm coming at you with another Tile Chick quick tip on how to template your shower pan for tile. So I started out with some foam pieces. I just ripped them down from the large boards that I had left over from the walls, 1.5 inch pieces or so, and then I traced out the pan like you see in the background. If you don't have extra foam laying around or you don't use foam, you can also use some cardboard strips. You can use the thin wooden strips that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware store. And then you can adhere them at the joints with either hot glue or some other type of adhesive. Today I do not have my hot glue gun, so I made little braces and I'm going to screw them in together. Either way would work just fine. So why do we want to template our shower pan for tile? Well, I like to do it. It's my preferred method because I like everything centered around the drain nicely. I'm using a mosaic. It's a small penny round. So it's not like using a normal size tile. You can't just measure it out as easily. So it works really well, especially with mosaics. And so I will show you my process. Let's get started. Okay, so you can see that I cut these down to just match the pan. I started in one corner and I just worked my way around using a box knife. This is all you really need. Make your cuts. You pop it in and you're good to go. Now I'm going to just secure my little braces here with some screws so that it doesn't fall apart when I pull it out of the pan and then transfer it onto the tile. If you do use screws, just be careful when you're screwing the screws into the foam that you don't penetrate your shower pan. But if you do, if you're using a system like Laticrete, you can go back over it with your waterproof adhesive and sealant. It won't be that big of a deal, but just make sure that you're extra careful with that. If you are using another product that requires banding, you can cut a piece of their membrane and then just go right over it. You got caught. Okay, so I chose my bracing from the front of the shower to the back or the side to the side because it was the shortest distance, so it would give me a nice durability for the template. And what I did was I just measured from the right side of the wall and the left side of the wall to the center of the drain, and I moved the drain around a little bit to make sure it was as much centered as possible. Then I traced around with my foam pieces. Now I'm going to go outside, lay out the tile, and I will trace it out. Okay, so here is our template. I'm literally going to lay tile down and then put this on top and trace it out. Okay, so now I'm just laying out the penny tile outside of the work area so that I can trace it, and then I will make my cuts after that. Penny tile is a little bit of a challenge because, well, a lot of smaller mosaics that come on sheets can be a challenge because when you lay it, if you're not careful, you can see sheet lines. The penny tile, only the left and the right side of it's staggered here, so you won't see the sheet lines on the left to the right if you're lucky, but on the top and the bottom, it's a straight line here, so it's really hard to mesh it. What I see a lot of people doing is they leave too much space like this between, and that leaves you with these long sheet lines running through your floor or wherever you decide to put it, and it looks real ugly. So you want to make sure that you get real close. You want to definitely leave some spacing for the tiles, but do your inspection close up, and then the best practice is to step away and check out what you have going on so that you can see it from different angles, and then you can make your adjustments before you trace and make your cuts. Same thing when you're actually laying the tile. You want to make sure you're looking at it from all points of view so that you're not seeing sheet lines. Another good tip is to just take a quick picture after you lay out the tile, or take a video, because for some reason in pictures and video you can see it a lot better than when you're just looking at it. Especially, I've been looking at this tile for the last 15 minutes. So snap a picture, take a video, check out your work. I highly advise just laying out the tile on the floor before you're actually installing it, so that you can avoid those mistakes. It's a little mistake, but if you just take a little bit of time ahead of time to prep, you can definitely avoid it. Okay guys, so now I'm going to carefully take my template and place it on top of my tiles that I laid out. Okay guys, so again, like I said before, the purpose and the most important part about this is to get even cuts around the drain. We're working with really small penny tiles and we have a square drain, so I want to try to get even cuts around the entire perimeter of the drain so it looks even. So if you look over here, I moved my template around until I had even half cuts all the way around the perimeter of the drain. So whatever happens here on the outside, I'm not as worried about, because tile is going to sit on top. The most important feature and the focal point is going to be what's happening around this drain. So I'm going to mark it out, make my cuts, and then we can get to installing. So when you're tracing, make sure you're staying tight to the template. And then when it's time to cut, what you want to do is make sure you take the line. So go to the inside of the line, because if you don't, then your template will be too big, or your tiles will be too big for the shower pan. Okay, let's pull it up and see how it looks. Okay, so some quick tips. Again, trace. When you cut, take the line. So you want to stay to the inside towards your drain. Take this line so that your tile isn't too big for the footprint of the shower. Next is going to be to label your sheets. You don't want to go through all this trouble to trace out the pan and then you lose your sheets after you made the cuts and you pick everything up. So I would probably start from the back of the shower, because when I'm laying it, I'm going to start in the back and work my way out. You can label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, whatever the heck you want to do, but labeling would definitely help. You can label it on the back, label it on the front, whatever works for you. But definitely label your sheets. Okay guys, so I have this all labeled. I just threw some tape on there, labeled it 1 to 23, and I'm going to throw them on the saw, get them cut, and we'll be good to go. Let's go. Okay, so now I'm dry laying the penny tiles into the shower pan, just to make sure that I cut everything properly. You want to make sure that it lays out nicely and that you didn't mess anything up. So that's what I'm doing. Actually laying the tile doesn't take long. It's not laying the tile that takes long. It's preparing to lay the tile is what always takes the longest. Okay, so we dry laid everything. Everything fits nicely. So the next step is to mix your thin set and stick the tiles. What I'm going to do is probably work in a small section, because these are penny tiles. You want to make sure that you don't have your sheet lines like I mentioned earlier, and I want to make sure that they lay very nicely, so I probably won't take everything out. I'll probably just take 2 rows at a time and go from there. Okay guys, so that wraps it up for the shower pan template for mosaic tiles. I cleaned up the best I could. made any minor adjustments that I needed. And yeah, so I hope that this tip helped you guys. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, show the love, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.